Hi guys, today we are going to be doing lists. It's a nice week, it's a happy week. Let's fire up Jupyter Notebook and see how far we can go. Hold up. Here we go. So we're going to open a Python 3 file and we're going to start up now. What are lists? We're doing lists. Lists in Python are represented as ordered sequence of values, and here are examples of how to create them. So the times, remember the spaces, and we can put let's try, wait, now we can put words instead. Now those are integers, now we can put strings. So has to have a quote, sometimes double, sometimes single. Me, I'll just use a single quote. We can even make lists of lists. Sorry about that. We can even make lists of lists, like let's try. Now the block brackets or the block parentheses are the ones we use to make the lists. Now here the comma after the last element is optional. Sorry about the caps. Now well, I could have written this in one line, but it can get really hard to read. That's why I had to do it in that form. Now a list can contain different mix of types of variables. Like let's try something. Yes, the Python help function is one of my definite favorites, and because it actually assists a lot, like so much. Date back. Now we're going to be doing indexing. Let's first write the heading. Sorry. Indexing. Now what is indexing? You can access an individual list of elements with square brackets, like which planet is closest to the sun. Python uses 0 based indexing, so the first element has index 0. Let's try. X 0 gives us about Mercury. Gives us Venus. Gives us Neptune. Neptune is the farthest planet from the sun, I believe, and because I'm not even sure Pluto is a planet anymore. Let's try. Uranus. Now we're going to try out slicing, which I'll explain shortly with the example I'll put down below. So planet now slicing, it shows the first 3 planets or the last 3 planets. So 0 to 3 is the first 3 planets, and we're going to try out, let's try a plan 3 to an infinity number or to 0. It won't give us anything, but if we try just 3 alone, it will give us all the other planets. Now we are going to be changing lists. Lists are mutable, meaning they can be modified in place. One way to modify a list is to assign an index or slice expression. Let's say we wanted to rename Mars. We can do this. Okay. Let's try that, and then we do so it has renamed Mars as Maldives. Well, let's try out renaming the first 3 planets. So zero to 3. Mal, yeah. Mel, meal. Now we're going to print planets. It has given us that. Now that was quite silly according to me. Let's give them back their old names back. Let's see. So planets, sorry, wait, yeah, as so now the database has the names back to normal. We're now going to do list functions. Now Python has several useful functions working with lists. Len gives the length of a list. Now how many planets are there? We're going to get that by using the command len. The function len gives us what we need. So we have 8 planets now. The sorted returns a sorted version of a list. So sorted has given us everything. Sum does what exactly you might expect. It adds. So remember primes, the first command we ever put, 2 3 5 7. So sum primes will give us 17, because 5 plus 5 plus 7, yeah, 17. We've previously used the minimum and maximum to get the minimum or maximum of several arguments, but you can also pass in a single list argument, like max or min hold up. Yeah, we're doing interlude objects. We're going to do the heading now for I think I've used the term object a lot so far. You may have read that everything in Python is an object. What does that mean? In short, objects carry some things around with them. You access that stuff using python.syntax. For examples, in numbers, Python carry around an associated variable called imag, which is representing the imagery part. You'll probably never need to use this unless you're doing some very weird math. Well, it actually is weird math. So x is a real number, and so is its imaginary part 0. And x here is how to make a complex number, in case you've ever been curious. Sorry about this. Say now, the things an object carries around also include functions. A function attached to an object is called a method. Non-function things attached to an object, such as imag or image without an e, are called attributes. For examples, numbers have method called bitlength. Again, we access it using .syntax, like x. It has given us a function. To actually call it, we add parentheses, like x base In the same way that we can pass functions to the help function, e.g. help max, we can also do this in methods. You can see that the help on bin function the help on built-in function bit length method of built-ins integer instance. Well, it has given us that number of bits necessary to represent itself in binary. Okay, now we're going to do list methods. List.append modifies a list by adding an item to the end, like you remember the planet Pluto. I think I remember it from quite back. So the cell above has no output because it has added it to the database. So now if we do the planets, it will add including Pluto. Now list pop, there is pop. Now if we do planet, the word pop removes and returns the last element of a list. So planet officially has just removed Pluto. Therefore, if we do planets again, we won't see the Pluto. The last one will still be again Neptune. So we're going to do searching lists. Okay, so where does Earth fall in order of planets? Let's find that out. So we're going to do it comes third, in short, that is index 2. And what index does Pluto occur? So we're going to try that. Pluto does not exist in the list. So to avoid surprises like this, we can use the in operator to determine whether the list contains a particular value. Like I'm just going to leave this here for learning purposes. True. So Earth is actually in Planesis, planets. But if we try Pluto, sorry, that's not sure. So Pluto does not exist in planets. If we decide to do a help planets, it's a list. It contains all these. You guys will try it and you will see as much as it contains. Now we're going to do most likely the last heading, or the second last. We're going to do tuples. Tuples are almost exactly the same as lists. They just differ in two ways. Number one is the syntax creating them uses parentheses, and okay, uses normal bracket instead of the square brackets, like t equals to 1, 2, 3. And no. And number two, they cannot be modified. They are immutable. Therefore, you can't put t it will refuse. The tuple does not, object does not support item assignment. Now tuples are often used for functions that have multiple return values. For example, as the integer ratio method of float objects return a numerator and a denominator in the form of a tuple, like this. This error we're also going to leave here for learning purposes. X is equal to 0. These multiple return values can be individually assigned as follows. So we're going to do numerator